Hello everyone, it's great to have you here today on our channel. If you're new, welcome aboard. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for sticking with us on this journey. We've got something essential to talk about today, something that affects all of us, whether we realize it or not: cybersecurity. Specifically, we'll discuss an insightful document titled TechNet Cyber 2024 Breaking Defense. This isn't just any document. It's a deep dive into the latest challenges and strategies in the world of cybersecurity as we move into 2024. Before we start, let me remind you that we love hearing from you. So please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions for future videos in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you find this content valuable. Your support helps us keep bringing these deep dives into critical topics. All right, let's get into it. So let's start by getting everyone on the same page. I know cybersecurity can sound like a daunting technical subject, but at its core, it's all about keeping our digital lives safe. Think of it like locking your doors and windows at home. You wouldn't just leave everything wide open, right? The same principle applies online. Cybersecurity involves all the tools and practices designed to protect our networks, devices, and data from being accessed or tampered with by unauthorized people. One of the key players in this space is something called DISA, which stands for the Defense Information Systems Agency. These people ensure the US military has the secure IT and communication systems to operate safely. They're the backbone of America's digital defense. But here's where it gets interesting and a bit worrying. As technology has evolved, so have threats. We're no longer talking about hackers trying to steal your credit card info. We're discussing state-sponsored cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure, intellectual property, and military operations. It's like we've moved from worrying about burglars to worrying about highly trained special ops teams trying to break into your house. One of the big issues the TechNet Cyber 2024 document highlights is technology debt. And no, it's not about money, but it is a cost in a different sense. Imagine you've got an old, beat-up car. It's been reliable, but it's getting outdated and parts are getting harder to find. Instead of replacing it, you keep patching it up, because getting a new one is expensive and time-consuming. But over time, these patches cost more and more, and eventually you realize you've spent more on repairs than you would have on a new car. That's technology debt in a nutshell. DISA is dealing with this on a massive scale. They have systems that are decades old, some even dating back to the 1970s. These old systems are becoming increasingly complex and costly to maintain, and they're a considerable cybersecurity risk. Imagine trying to secure your house with locks from the 70s. They might still work, but they're no match for modern-day burglars. DISA is working on addressing this debt by modernizing its systems, but it's not easy. It's a bit like trying to upgrade a car while you're still driving it. They're also trying to ensure that the new systems they bring in are flexible and scalable, so they don't end up in the same situation again in a few years. Another fascinating topic covered in the document is the push toward automating cybersecurity capabilities. When we say automation, we're talking about using advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, AI, to handle routine security tasks that generally require a human touch. This is like having a smart home system that not only locks the doors for you, but also checks if the windows are closed, turns on the alarm, and even orders new locks if it detects a problem. DISA has set an ambitious goal to automate 75% of its cybersecurity tasks. Why? Because the threats we're facing are getting more sophisticated, and we need to respond faster and more efficiently to them. Automation allows human experts to focus on the tricky stuff that requires critical thinking and experience, while the machines handle the routine, day-to-day security checks. But there's a catch. While automation can make things faster and more efficient, it also means we're putting a lot of trust in these systems. We need to ensure they're fast but also accurate and reliable. After all, a smart lock that locks the wrong doors could be worse than no lock. One of the strategies that's gaining much traction in cybersecurity is something called zero trust. Now, this might sound a bit paranoid, but in cybersecurity, it's a very sensible approach. The idea is simple. Trust no one, inside your network or outside, until they've been thoroughly vetted. Think of it like this. Imagine you've got a high-security facility. Instead of just checking people at the front gate, you have checkpoints at every door, and everyone needs to prove they're allowed to be there every time. It's much work, but it drastically reduces the chances of someone slipping through the cracks. Zero Trust is about continuously verifying every user and device before they can access sensitive network parts. It's like adding layers of security everywhere, not just at the entry points. This approach is becoming increasingly necessary as cyber threats become increasingly sophisticated and attackers find new ways to bypass traditional security measures. So what are the biggest threats on the horizon? According to the TechNet Cyber 2024 document, China is at the top of the list. The report paints a pretty concerning picture of how Chinese cyber activities target everything from intellectual property to critical infrastructure in the US. These aren't just hypothetical threats, they're happening right now. They're getting more sophisticated every day. The document emphasizes the need for closer collaboration between the Department of Defense and private companies. Many of these companies aren't primarily focused on cybersecurity. They're focused on building and innovating. But in today's world, that's a vulnerability that needs to be addressed. The government is stepping in to help, but it's a partnership. Both sides need to work together to bolster our defenses. One of the most exciting initiatives to emerge from this is the Fulcrum strategy. This is a new approach by the Department of Defense to overhaul its cyber and IT capabilities. The strategy is about ensuring that our military systems are secure, but also user-friendly and resilient, especially in combat situations. It's like upgrading all the tools in your toolbox to ensure they're top of the line and easy to use, even in the most stressful situations. The Fulcrum strategy is a big step towards ensuring that our defense systems are ready for the challenges of tomorrow. And there you have it. We've covered much ground today, from the challenges of technology debt and the move toward automation to the importance of zero trust and the emerging threats we face on the global stage. The TechNet Cyber 2024. Breaking Defense eBook is a treasure trove of information for anyone interested in understanding where cybersecurity is headed. We hope this discussion has made these complex topics more accessible and maybe even sparked some interest in learning more. Cybersecurity affects all of us, and the more we understand it, the better prepared we'll be. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you find most interesting? What questions do you have? Drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of essential topics. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.